Monetary Policies Illustrated. Understanding monetary policies begins with the understanding that the economy takes place in a community. It also takes place in a city and eventually nationally. The goal of each economy is to grow, and the size of the economy is measured through GDP, which stands for gross domestic product. Along the economic growth, you have financial transactions, which is traced in the financial markets. Financial institutions in the financial market are required to have a reserve placed at the Federal Reserve. And when there's a need for liquidity in the financial markets, the Federal Reserve provides such a liquidity, which is then made available to the economy through credits. And such a liquidity help the continuation of the growth of the economy. And the cycle continues. The Federal Reserve influences the economy through monetary policies. There are two directions of monetary policies. Expansionary monetary policies are conducted in time of a recession. And in our illustration, businesses and households are represented by plants in a garden. And in a time of drought, plants in a garden need water supplied through an irrigation system. In this illustration, the Federal Reserve is the water source from which water, which represents money, is drawn to irrigate the plants, which are businesses and households, through the irrigation system, which is the banking system. So here we can see the Federal Reserve, which is the water source, from which water is drawn to irrigate the plants. The other direction of monetary policy is defined as contractionary monetary policies, which are conducted in terms of inflation. When there's excess water in a garden, for instance, water is pumped out. So the Federal Reserve policy is to decrease money circulation, and is illustrated by a reverse direction of all water circulation from the garden to the water source, which is the Federal Reserve. So here our water source, the Federal Reserve, will receive the water pumped from the garden back to the water source, which is the Federal Reserve. And that will be an illustration of contractionary monetary policy in terms of inflation.